Christmas one ended though. Almost Happy New Year. Happy New
Yeah.
Year. Uh,
Almost.
Happy New
where
Happy,
it passed, which is not
Happy
happened
New
yet.
Year, Australia. Oh wait,
Is it? No.
I think
Right.
no, in about 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, they're the first. So welcome to the last live stream of the year, the Wooting last live stream of the year. We did this last year as well, and that time we were in Holland when we did that stream. It's also where one of our few pictures of the three of us together comes from. And as a tradition for the last live stream of this year, we have a bunch of things that we're planning to do during this live stream. And the most famous thing, which you might know, is the special quiz that you've all prepared for this whole year, writing down all the notes to win these amazing prizes that will be coming soon. So as you can see, we're all three of us are here at the live stream, which is actually quite remarkable, looking at the situation. Just specifically looking at Jeroen. Because Jeroen, where are you now?
So you might be wondering, why does this room look so nice all of a sudden, right? Where are the dirty walls, the dirty lights? I'm spending Christmas and New Year's with my girlfriend in New York, and so I'm actually sitting in her roommate's room, who's not here. And
it's very clean.
Yeah, it's very, very clean. It's very good, but it's also it's a pretty nice apartment. But it's sort of.
We now
I'm sorry?
the world, the three of us. Like you got the US, I got Europe, all this Asia.
Oh yeah. Yeah, true.
You will be the last one to pass for the year, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right now it's 7 a.m. So it'll be well.
I'll send you a message that you know how it is in 2018.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I was thinking maybe to call in back home too when they're doing the countdown. Maybe join them. But let's see. So.
That would be really
audio
for you.
Very low. I tested it and it sounded beautiful when I tested it.
Hey man, so
welcome to the stream, guys. So I see Cop Vampire, Face on Quizmaster,
Our infamous
Win?
quizmaster.
Vintias. I'm not sure. Is new, or is it somebody with a different nickname in this case?
Well, Winterjas will probably like stream snipe, you know, like the pro kicking Vasilian off his throne.
Sibi LV, hi man. Jasper. Oh, okay, that's you, man. And
better?
So,
is this better?
yeah, still a bit squeaky.
give me 1 second.
Other than Jeroen, Erik is also here. I'm also here, and we both didn't have anything else to do today, other than doing this live stream. So Erik, how's it in Holland? How's it in Holland right now?
It's windy. It's very windy, and I guess it'll rain a lot tonight. So we will have a pretty nice year passing, so to say. Yeah. It's going to be shit.
So people already lighting fireworks?
Yeah, of course, since
Probably like a war zone or what?
yeah. Well, I guess they're now, since 2 years or something, they're only allowed to start past 6 in the evening today, instead of 10 in the morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's pretty convenient, but I must be honest, I really like fireworks, like looking at it, but I really don't care spending money on it.
Yeah, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
I think more and more Dutch people are becoming like that.
Yeah. I used to work in the store that sold fireworks, and it's just insane how much people spend on it.
Oh, but now because there are some people early in the stream, I really want to give a little bit hint for the quiz because
Oh,
Get your notebook. Get your notebook.
in total we have 10 questions. But there is like an 11th question that doesn't count, but it only counts as a tiebreaker. So, for example, if Vasilion has 10 questions correct and Lintias has 10 questions correct, then the tiebreaker will determine who's the winner. And the tie-breaking question is, how many emails did we receive last year, so in 2017, on social@wooting.nl? And it's more than you think. It's over 1,000. So
Oh, you should say. Oh, okay. Well, now everybody's gonna guess anything over the 1,000. I guess.
does that include the spam from the Chinese manufacturing
it's
selling ice
also
creams and
including
everything?
it's also including the spam
Including
from Chinese
spam.
manufacturers.
Yeah. So think of thousands. Yeah. But not 10 of thousands. That's way too much.
So that was
You'll be surprised what we receive sometimes on the email. I think since half a year or something, we've gotten on more and more of these like spammy email lists, and we get a couple of emails. Like I think from one manufacturer, is a PCB manufacturer. I think we at least get an email once a week.
Yeah.
To introduce something about PCBs and she's consistent, man. She keeps sending them, and it's a little bit different every time. It's not the same all the time.
Yeah.
So,
But I guess the stupid thing is we open those emails and it's like, oh, there's activity here. Ooh, more spammy.
yeah, but I think the first, I believe most of those Chinese suppliers, they send them manually. It's not like they have some kind of application that sends it automatically for them.
That surprised me.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite one is I think we got one for refrigerators, or like cool boxes.
Oh, the
If
cool
we
box.
need any cool boxes, like nice pictures and everything. They're fun. Yeah.
And
It's like they don't even look at what you're doing. It's just spam everything.
And also welcome the Dutch fella. Well, I see they have the good luck, have fun pledge. Not sure where that came from. Yeah, what's that?
Interesting.
Okay.
Sibi says, I guess it's the same for everyone. I hate fireworks since I got a dog. Oh yeah, I remember back home we had 3 dogs like during New Year's. One of them got so scared every time. It's so sad.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, we had guinea pigs, or we still have guinea pigs, but an old guinea pig, Carly, who died this year,
Your card.
like, she was always afraid of, every day of the year she was constantly afraid, but during the fireworks show, she really didn't care, because she was deaf. She was like, well, chilling, and the other guinea pig was like, frightened and terror, and she was like, well, that's okay, nothing wrong.
That's nice. Hey, in Taiwan, there's literally no firework until so far. Have you heard anything, Yenny?
No.
No, so there's been no firework at all. And I don't expect any fireworks later. Maybe in the... that's maybe the first topic, you know. What are the plans for today on the last day of the year, other than after the live stream? How are we going to cross the year? I'll start with myself. The way we're going to cross it is just by going to the night market that's around the corner and see what they do for crossing the year. There should be something happening, just don't know really what.
Yeah.
And it will be the first time we'll do it in this way. As for example, last year we did Taipei 101, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so last year we did Taipei 101, for example, and then that is pretty fun because they have like this whole fireworks show on the Taipei 101 building, so you see the whole building explode of fireworks for, it was like at least like 15 or 20, no, it was really long. Right?
How did you do it last year? I mean, last year you were in the Netherlands.
Oh, that was 2 years ago.
Whoa.
was
Oh,
lying.
that was 2 years
Oh.
ago.
You
2
went
years
to-
ago.
Did you went to Rotterdam to a fireworks show, or is it like 4 years ago?
2 years ago. That's like 4 years ago. Rotterdam was 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just-
Rotterdam
Oh,
compared to
we did.
Taipei 101 was really shit. Like that was like, it was super short, crappy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how we're gonna spend our last day, right?
Yeah.
go into the new one. So, how about you, Eric?
Well, after live stream, I have to get home, take a shower, put on some fresh clothes, and then I go to some friends. And I guess it's going to be a cooking show for the whole evening, because yesterday we went to Germany and we bought a lot of food and everything, and we still have to prepare everything. So we'll probably be cooking and eating, and then the fireworks show. I don't know, looking outside, do some fireworks, and then probably get drunk. Yeah, for sure. So it's going to be fun.
Good thought.
And you, Jeroen?
I don't have any. So even though I'm in New York, like I heard yesterday that 1 million people are going to Times Square to watch like the ball drop.
Ball drop?
Yeah, there's like this famous thing where like this sort of ball drops on Times Square or something, and apparently 1 million people flock to that area. Where there's like a concert, but we're not going there because I for one don't really like New Year's Eve parties because most of the time they're kind of overrated. And also 1 million people coming together in a square in the middle of New York, like the security must be like insane. I don't think it's any fun at all. I can imagine like the whole army probably based around that area.
But I guess now you're there, you should really go check it out, right? I mean,
first time.
Yeah, I know, but I really think it's worth it because I talked to I talked to a friend of my girlfriend about it, and she went there 2 years ago. And she said it was such a bummer because apparently there's this sort of ball, and it slows down, and at the end it's supposed to sort of open or something, and then it's like New Year's. But I thought like the ball would drop and it's like explosion, fireworks and everything. But apparently it's this sort of ball that's sort of opening and then it just goes back up. Like it's such a bummer.
No, there's no like confetti and stuff jumping from.
No.
No?
That's what he said.
Huh? Okay.
There's probably confetti, but I don't know. She said it was kind of boring. Yeah, but it's more. I'm more concerned about the amount of people, man. Like 1 million people in that tiny area. It's going to be insane. So anyway, we have Plan B, and Plan B it's more like a Plan O, so like Plan Oliebollen. So today we're gonna make the traditional Dutch New Year's recipe, oliebollen or oil ball. That's basically dough balls with raisins in them. So we'll be making those tonight, and just go to my girlfriend's friend's house and just chill there, and then maybe we could walk from here like to the Hudson River, and then we'll just go there. Probably from there we can see some fireworks.
Nice.
That's nice. We have already that Quinn says that you look really well groomed, you.
Wearing a button up. That's it. I mean, yeah, of course I have to look nice for the Wooting live stream, right?
Girlfriends.
Just look up at it. Look like
that's
shit.
what it is for. And Lemon, which and Lemon says the bowl is an apple. So it's an apple opening.
It's the big apple opening.
Big apple.
Yeah, the big apple opening. Yeah, it already makes more sense.
I'm really curious how Anne Lemon is going to participate in the quiz and what his score will be.
Me too. He's a trusty viewer, so. Is Jeroen in the Netherlands? No, Quinn. Jeroen is in New York right now. You missed the beginning. Yeah.
Of course, the professional health vampire. So
I was wondering. Also, what are you guys planning to do during this new year? Because it must be different in every country. So we're doing it now: Taiwan, Netherlands, New York, US. I don't know if we should separate how it is done in New York probably than other states, but
I already saw Vintia saying, and I also read about this on the news. There's an extreme amount of vehicles being lit on fire in Utrecht.
Oh, what? As in actual like an event or
more
vandalism?
From what I've read, it's sort of like this sort of gang traveling around the city and just setting random cars on fire.
Okay, oh,
I
that's
guess
pretty terrible.
New Year's Eve in Utrecht is really lit.
Yeah, oh! Snap. So, all right. So for this live stream, we have a couple things planned.
Oh,
Oh wait, I just saw Manson say. Manson said it was just going to be him and his wife, but a sweet old neighbor came by the other day and asked if we wanted to spend it together. So we're making a nice dinner.
Awesome.
That's really nice. Yeah. We have Sibi Elfie. I'm going to cook for friends at home as they will come over for evening. Oh, I see. That's really nice. That's two people already sharing this day. I guess it's also the same with what I like is when you don't do the fireworks yourself, there's always a neighbor in your street who spends a shitload ton on the fireworks to just watch their fireworks.
True.
there's always this crazy uncle who's spending his shit on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice. I'm going to sit alone in a dark room on VSC. I need help. Oh, cough, don't worry, don't worry. Doesn't have to be spectacular every time. I'm going to pick up some oliebollen at my grandmother's place.
Oh,
Nice.
fresh oliebollen.
Oliebollen style. Yeah, yeah.
Right there.
So
Quinn is gonna.
it's all about eating, right?
I feel every fan is about eating in the end, right? At least in Taiwan, it definitely is.
Okay.
There's always a special for a special event. Stuffing my face with homemade dumplings, braised pork. Oh, that sounds very like Asian-ish, Quinn. Style. Asian-ish.
You get the oliebollen for your wife, Quinn?
Prefers going Asia style. But that's second year at home in a row for me instead of out to sea. How would you would otherwise be out at the sea? Oh right, to jump in the sea, go do the Nieuwjaarsduik. Like you say. Whoa.
Oh, that's way too cold.
I've never done it before, but
And I really don't want to do it. I don't even like cold showers, let alone in the middle of the winter dump it into the sea. But you get like a nice Unox rookworst, right? And like the little.
Oh wait, the New Year's duik is on New Year's Day, right? So it must be because he's probably sent out the military. As in, you don't spend. See,
well.
Yeah. Where's Marie?
Oh, okay, I see. Right.
That's a bit different. It's a shame.
That's
you still have to
definitely
go into the
different.
water, but you cannot get the Unox rookworst. It's a double loss for you.
But you can do like your New Year's dive like in some one country. Just say, oh yeah, move into the water.
Go.
Stay.
That's a good idea, though. And then it's just really comfortable. But that whole idea is that it's cold, so you have like this, refresh, renew, reborn, rejuvenated.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take a dive tonight.
Let's go through the year in review, and then meanwhile we can sum up some people with some cool plans for tonight.
Yeah, sure.
So, Carla, kick it off.
Well, so as usual at this live stream, we kind of look back at the year. This is the second time we're doing it, but it's now as usual. So we're kind of going to look back at what have we done this year, how did we start, and what did we achieve at the end up till the end of the year. So we're just gonna quickly go.
Didn't really make a plan how to do it, right? I don't really have topics, but I thought let's just open up all the different blog posts and see what's in it. Talk a little bit.
Yeah,
about
exactly. Basically, the blog is also a timeline of things that happened. So it started. Yeah, go ahead.
It started very great with another delay. That was the second delay, right? Because
That was the second time, yeah. the first time we had a delay was when we just started. We wanted to deliver the keyboard in November and at latest December.
And that was pretty ambitious.
That was pretty ambitious, but that was definitely pretty ambitious. But what made it really ambitious was also we didn't take into account that the technology was more challenging than we thought it would be. Going from that prototype version what we had to something that could go into mass production and would perform better. So it started off with the second delay, which was a delay from we were planning to produce in February or January.
Yeah.
I forgot what this one said
I
again.
think it's the end of January. It was like, can we rush something before Chinese New Year? I think that was the...
Yeah, but we couldn't.
Wooting's new slogan: "We make delays so you don't have to."
So
Yeah.
So that was a big bummer for us, you know, because it happened during the second trial production, right? No, the first trial production. And then we,
right.
Yeah, then we realized, it's like complete shit. And then we had to improve
Yeah.
some things for the second trial production.
Yeah.
And that was pretty amazing, the second trial production, because the keyboards actually worked. And they did what they had to do.
Yeah, the
That's-
second reference was really good. And
Second trial production, the only bad side about it in the end was that we got lucky with how good it was. So it didn't show us some potential issues we could have.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this organized deadline chaos. This is so after we announced delay, we're preparing for the next mass production.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was
And,
the first mass production we were not prepared for, because we had the second trial production and it was successful. And then you did the components check, and we had a date for the first mass production. And you tested everything in the more switches, and then you checked the keycaps. And that was the first time we showed the new utility outside of the beta program. Nothing changed
True.
since then.
The concept is still the same,
Well,
but the utility changed a lot
that's
since
called
then.
good design, Eric.
some things
If like
changed.
if like it looks the same, but meanwhile in the background a lot of things have changed.
That's true.
You know, actually, that picture of this blog post, it was, I came back at the hotel really late, and I was on Skype with Erik, and we're like, okay, you know, I don't remember if I already made the blog post or not. I think I did. And then Erik was like, oh, we need to have like a cover picture. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so freaking tired. I really have no inspiration right now. And Erik kind of forced me to make something. I was like, okay, I'll just go outside and find
Make
something
it Chinese.
with Chinese characters.
Make it
Chinese. That's what Erik said. Make it Chinese. Yeah. So I went outside. I went outside at the back of the hotel, and there's literally only 3 shops in the whole block there. And I was standing in front of one of the shops, and like, okay, get your best face out, you know. Plant yourself awake. Do the peace sign for more Asia style. And my God, I was so fucked up that day.
But in the end, it looked pretty cool, because we just duplicated this picture, swapped it to the right side so it looks bigger, and we slapped the calendar over a second color. Yeah, pretty cool.
Oh, you can actually see
Yeah,
the
it's
shirt still coming out underneath the
Yeah.
calendar. Yeah.
also on top, so the picture is completely mirrored. But I guess if you just are Western, you don't even see it or notice it. Just think, it's called selfie time. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Oh, and then came the second. Well, it wasn't really a shitstorm, but it was a thing we didn't really expect. The expanding the Wooting business blog, because we were working with, or we were discussing things, or I don't know how we'd say it, working with distributors and resellers. So, because we wanted to sell more keyboards in 2017, right? We wanted to be available in more places. So, in 2016, we already started talking to distributors and resellers for them to sell our Wooting 1 and everything. But we always planned to do, okay, after we released on Kickstarter, then you can put like stuff online. but you really cannot control resellers. So in that February, some resellers just poop, dropped it online. Hey, you can now pre-order it and maybe get it in June or whatever, you know.
Oh yeah.
And that was difficult because we didn't want to backstab our early backers, right? Our Kickstarter backers and the ones who ordered in our own shop as pre-orders. So we had to clarify that, okay, you always will receive the keyboard before those resellers will receive the keyboards.
Yeah, it's like Quinn says it, with the resellers in the Nordics. So this was mainly also targeted at working with Trigono, distributor in the Nordics. And we've been talking with them for a while that time. Just that our keyboard never got done, but they were already interested. And we wanted to be ahead of the curve by sharing this with you guys at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed the MVP coat hanger fee too.
I think it's coming up.
Patience.
It's
coming up.
It's coming up. So here started the mass production chronicles, you know. So Galerian went to China. Man, great, just great vlogs. I just watched them last Friday to get some quiz questions about the vlogs. So I got inspired by them.
Watch the vlogs.
And yeah, it was so exciting, like starting the whole mass production, and then with the bump in the road. And
man, that trip, like especially the first vlog, that was really exciting. You know, I was like, oh yeah, we should do this then, and then we get there, and we're really excited for the whole production.
It's very different, right? What happened?
And and then when bump in the road, that was from there on, it became so super hard to make these vlogs.
Because the worst thing is is it this like the vlog with bump in the road? Oh, this one. This is like very gold. Shall we tell the secret about this vlog?
The secret? Yeah, sure.
So,
yeah.
So Calder and Jeroen, they we knew there was like a bump in the road. It was like a complete shitstorm and going on. And well, if you watch the vlog and would put it chronological, Calder and Jeroen were in the morning still excited, you know, because mass production is happening today, blah blah blah. So they went to the factory and they started mass production, and then the shitstorm happened. We had a few Skype calls, and Calder explained the whole problem, and then at the end of the day it was like, oh, we don't even have an introduction. Okay, let's fake it that we're going inside the factory again. So this beginning part, it's actually like at the end of the day.
It was really late. We had to go back to the hotel. Everything was closing down. We're like, wait, we still have to do a recording
for the intro. So
for the intro,
like insane Calder and Jeroen's acting work, and then they just walk inside a dark factory.
Actually, you can see inside the window there. You saw it pass by the window. It's really dark if you look through the window. Yeah, all the lights are out. That's actually the assembly line inside there.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then I was like figuring out problems, and the worst thing is like the factory wanted to solve the problems themselves, right? And they didn't want to involve us so much in the process. So that was also very difficult because it was a Saturday, the March of 18th, the slow Saturday. And you guys just couldn't do anything. I guess Jeroen just made an analog curve that day, the old one. And I was just waiting in tension here in the Netherlands, like, oh, I need new news, you know, I need some good news.
Yeah, it was very annoying because I think we didn't really figure out how to work together yet with the manufacturer. And there was also some issues between us and the project manager at that time too. And I remember we were just sort of stuck in this room, and every time it's like, can we do anything? Can we do anything? And we were just sort of kept there, and it was very strange. I felt kind of helpless too.
I really hated that day.
Yeah.
I think in total 2 days that we were kind of in a, was it standby modus or something? Like just waiting for answers. And it was really like, my God, the tension was so high at that moment. We were really tired of it. We were already exhausted and tired at that moment because it was really stressful. And we're just waiting until they would come with some kind of positive news. And just nothing happened the whole time. And that's also at one point we decided we need to step in and, see what's going on and take it in our own hands, because it looks like they're not getting anywhere right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, but it was also so because you don't get like full into the loop, so you only get like, oh, we found something. Oh no, that's not it. Oh, we think it's this. And then they say like, oh, they found something new, and then like for hours you don't hear anything, right? Because you're not like into the process, so you're just like sort of hoping for news. And also like you hear something and then you get excited and you get pumped out again because it turns out to be nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think before
after your free day, it was still like sitting around another day, and then you guys stepped up and got more involved in the whole process because it worked, and Jeroen came with a testing solution.
Yeah, the Eureka. Yeah, that time, that vlog, when that vlog was made, that was actually a really exciting time, because we were actually getting to somewhere, like we're getting really good ideas about where could be the potential problem. And Jeroen, that's a very important moment. Jeroen, Cop Vampire says the coat hanger V1 was born that moment, where we had to test the analog signal, pressing all the keys at the same time, and Jeroen had to like make something in the meanwhile to test it. We needed to have a machine to test the analog functionality of the keyboard, and these engineers at the factory, they were making some kind of like prototype little thingy they could use to test it, but it wasn't done yet. So in the meanwhile, Jeroen just used the coat hanger to test it instead, which kind of worked. And
Coat hanger V1, yeah.
I
think. Yeah. But Coat hanger says, I remember naming it. It was the most creative thought I had in years.
So, and then the worst thing came, because now we had the analog testing machine, so we could like test everything that would have gone wrong and where it would have been gone wrong. And the worst thing is,
Porsche machine.
Yeah, it was really bad, because the thing that screwed us over, what was it again?
Yeah, it was that time we had they made the tool we could test with much faster and worked better than the coat hanger. So that was like our version 1. Not version 1 maybe, but that was like the real tool we could use. And then we had this like methodology of how things could work. In the end, we gave the production another shot and let it go through our Q&A, quality assurance. And it still just didn't hit the mark. There were too many keyboards still not okay.
Yeah.
And that's when the really, really difficult decision had to be made about, we need to, one is we need to make a decision. Are we going to find a quick solution so we can still do this mass production? Or are we just going to stop the entire production now and actually dive deep into this issue and find out to the core what's going on and just produce on another date.
It was so painful. It was so difficult, because we had already 2 delays, and then we finally hit the mark with the second trial production, and I was so excited. And then mass production, and I was like every day calling, okay, can we fix something? Can we still save it? Is there enough time? And then I guess before we announced it, like the sad news, I guess a few days on beforehand, we already knew like, okay, it's not gonna be this production.
Yeah.
And that was very bitching, because you guys had to go back to Taiwan because your visa also ended and the flight would go back, and then we had to find a new date for the second mass production.
Yeah, here's already the question is, do you guys also have like automated progress to check quality for utility? For example, Jenkins job. So I don't know what the Jenkins job is. Maybe Jeroen knows it, but
no.
Since you mentioned utility here, we break it and then shout it at Jeroen. That's actually now, since I think 3 versions back or something, Jeroen made a standard testing.
But he's talking about production.
Utility. Yeah, he mentions utility. So
Our testing is not up to par.
no, it's not good. It's not good enough yet. That's definitely what you could say. Testing the utility before make a release.
Yeah, the big. Yeah, yeah.
But-
I mean, the thing with utility is that a lot of issues are caused by some disconnect between the keyboard and utility, and those are very difficult to test. And it's not like necessarily only utility problems, but it might also be USB stuff. That's just
I mean, often enough, you would have he would go through. He has a list of things that needs to be tested, and until so far, even in Erik would go through this list of things that need to be tested, or you would just Jeroen list it alone, and then it can work fine on your own side. But then in the end, you still maybe on somebody else's PC for whatever other reason, something might go wrong, which brings up a problem. So. That we need to get better in that.
Okay.
Okay, back to the production.
So after mass production, we went to the drawing board and we made a real analog testing machine instead of code hanger, and we called it the code hanger V2. And here's like the drawings from it, I guess. And then we just had to find a company in China who could make this machine.
Well, actually, the best thing about this was that when we made the decision to dive deep into the issue and find out what it is, the manufacturer also made the proposal of, hey, let's invest in a actual machine that can test all the keys and see the analog values, etc. And that was something we actually wanted already for a long time. But we were under the impression they were not interested in making that just yet.
also it's pretty expensive.
Because it's pretty expensive. And but this situation, and it's also because kind of like, you know, you're building up the relationship. So at that time, it was a lot to ask for. And now our relationship just kept getting better. And with this like real problem happening, you know, it's like this real crisis moment. We really improved our relationship, got a lot better. And they decide, okay, you know, the best way forward for this technology is to have this machine. So just want to give some props to the manufacturer to make that decision.
Yeah. And then the second mass production, factory as planned again, was hyped. We solved the problem. We knew what caused the problem. We now had the analog testing machine, and in the first floor, Calder and Jeroen went to the garage where they made this analog testing machine.
Oh yeah. That was
Literally.
like Chinese. I would say like Chinese, peak of Chinese manufacturing and Chinese
So it's like
how it works on the inside, like small garage operated stores who can just make cool stuff very, very quickly.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then we had the mass production. It was pretty cool. We started slow, right? So because we had to test the whole new thing. I guess the first. How many did we make? 100 to start with?
No, even less, I think. On one day, we made a very few.
Made it very slow.
On a single, it went very, very slow in the beginning. We're like double checking everything, and we're really afraid there's something to go through without us finding out. So that went very slow, and we're kind of like building up this new way of doing the quality assurance also, and how to make sure that each keyboard is up to our minimum specifications, and that just took time.
And then there was a season break because it was Computex.
Oh yeah, that was us. We're in China, got a break back to Taiwan for Computex.
Oh yeah,
And then back to
that was
China
actually
again.
quite weird. Yeah, we literally that made it also longer. Yeah. We could choose, like we could have gone to Computex and just said, okay, finish the production, but we wanted to be there from the beginning till the end. So we just said, well, we'll just have to wait until we get back.
Yeah. And I think it was a good decision because it's always I remember feeling like oh, this is like this sort of old school, old style event. Like how can it be interesting, right? Because
Yeah.
everything is going like a lot of things is just going on online anyway. But it turns out like it's not so much that the event itself is really interesting, but it's more about the people that gather around the event. Like so many people, like all the important people in the industry, let's say they all gather in Taipei for this event, and
Computex, yeah.
and that's the most valuable part. You get to meet so many people in real life, and that's what really makes it worth it to go.
Networking, that's what Quinn says. That's exactly.
Working.
Yeah.
Quince,
You want to go to Computex the this
next year.
2018, yeah?
Hey,
New chance. I see Witches has an idea. Is it anything like pay a ticket for me to go to Taiwan and visit Computex? I still need to throw a Rocket League ball at Eric's face. Eric also still needs to share some nudes, but
Okay.
So-
So the second mass production went fine, and we didn't do a daily vlog. You'd like to buy daily vlog, right? Because it was more relaxed and you could focus more on the mass production and just also think about the content you wanted to show you. So I guess people learned about how Wooting 1 is created, what the whole process is, and how 5S is put to use in China, and yeah, it was pretty cool. I could see how fucked up Calder is by the end. It was like completely destroyed. Yeah, but it's been very.
Yeah, it was really that was a really stressful time.
It's been a few tough months, right? Because if the second mass production would have gone wrong, I mean, what would have we do then? You know, I mean, difficult. Because not only are we do the Kickstarter backs have to wait, but by that time we also had like established business relationships, you know, and Trigono is like really down to earth, you know, realistic, and they knew like, okay, a starting company, this can happen, but you don't want to, you know, make false promises and delays and stuff, because else you're like becoming this guy in the industry, like, oh, only delays and stuff. So there was pressure from all sides, but I guess we were very happy that in the end everything went smooth, and then the keyboards flew to the Netherlands and to the United States, and that was just a little bit of pinching if the customs wouldn't like screw us over and hold the
yeah.
And also the first round of using those fulfillment centers, like the first time.
Everything was new. Then we did the price adjustment at the end of the mass production. We
Yeah,
just
this-
wanted to level the US dollar price with the euro price, because in the US it's for us cheaper to sell the keyboard, actually, because the whole transportation and logistics is a bit cheaper and the taxes are lower and everything. So it would be like, even though the people would pay the same, it would be unfair for the US customers. So we dropped the price to $160 and $200 for premium, and we had to send money to all the Kickstarter backers, and our first no, not Kickstarter backers, was the people who ordered the Wooting 1 on our website.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want them, okay, you pre-ordered the Wooting 1, and now that it's actually available, we made it cheaper, so fuck you. So we sent some money back to the customers, and I guess it took us like 2 or 3 days. It was more work than we expected.
There was this whole manual process, right?
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. I mean, hopefully someone
Felt-
liked it.
Yeah.
And then the Wooting 1s
I'm
arrived.
happy.
Oh, that was
Oh,
It was like, okay, keyboards are going to send now today. Okay, cool. And the next day it was like somebody received and was like, oh, or somebody actually received it. And I guess that was even more stressful than the whole mass production thing, because now actually consumers who waited for this for at least well over a year, you know, received the keyboard, and it was so exciting and stressful. But I guess the most reactions and responses were pretty dope, and there were some issues starting, and most of them were like software and firmware issues, but you will fix them very fast.
what is happening in the chat? Emotional supporter. Doesn't make any sense. Okay. Hey, but talking about the first keyword coming in, uh, I remember there was like this first video of somebody unboxing the Wooting 1. And it was
Oh,
a
right.
Dutch guy, and he made I think it was like 16 or 17-minute long video. And I remember I was so excited watching it because what was so cool about the video, you could like hear his every thought he had while like doing like the full unboxing experience we thought of. For example, like when you open the box, there's this little heart, right? Then you get the keyboard, then you remove like the cover, and then like our postcard is underneath. And it was so cool, like him figuring out like all those sort of small parts. And it was also kind of unreal, like sort of hit in the face with realism or something.
Yeah. Again, for me it was very scary to start the video and looking at it, because okay, what's gonna think about it? But because he was so excited about it, I got excited about it, and it was a
Yeah, exactly.
it was a great insider feedback, you know.
Yeah,
It's pretty
yeah,
dope.
true.
I think we had in total now 3 videos doing unboxing from not like from professionals or something, just like people made a small video unboxing the keyboard.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I wanted to win it. Oh, the Christmas giveaway. If I had only won the Christmas giveaway, Quinn wanted to win it. Yeah, the Christmas giveaway it's the first giveaway. Oh, that should have been a quiz question. First giveaway we've ever done this year. We haven't done any giveaway before.
Is that true? I guess we did a giveaway before. We did it on
We
the mechanical keyboards event in the Netherlands.
Oh, okay, at a meetup. Yeah, that's true.
True.
That's true. Oh, you made a Facebook cover. Ah, man, okay.
Okay, and then
Yeah,
the next thing that happened, besides everybody receiving the winning one, was more distributioners, more resellers.
Yeah, that time behind the scene, where we just delivered the keyboard, and we're looking at how can we build this up to the next level, because we can't just only keep selling ourselves. And at that time we were discussing with a couple of businesses, just one of them particularly, and that was such a drag at the time.
Yeah.
And we were really hoping to work with them for a long time, but the closer we got to the final, like the conclusion of the contract and the whole relationship, we decided, well, you know what? In the end, we can fight really hard to get this done. But if we look at like long-term working with them, we don't want to work with them right now because we didn't feel comfortable with how it was. So this was kind of like what was happening behind. We were looking for it, and we didn't work with them in the end. And we started working with Alternate in Benelux. So if you're in Belgium or the Netherlands, they do the keyboards to us now. At least that's why you see them in the shops now. Yeah.
That's pretty dope. Yeah, and then so then we also had a few more productions, you know, with different graphics layouts and stuff, and there was like the noise issue for the first batch. That's also a thing we fixed. And in the meanwhile, it was like really hard working because we had like actual customers we had to respond on, and we knew like, okay, our information, how we distributed it was like really wrong, so we had to fix that step by step. More questions came in, another mass production, utility improvements, marketing, so
a lot of stuff hit us at the same time.
yeah. And I think from now on we evolved from more of a hobby project. Well, that's stupid to say, right? Because we are more than a hobby project. I mean, that was far away, but instead of like being the project, like work towards one goal, realizing and making the Wooting 1 a reality and making sure it will be on people's doorstep. After that point, it evolved to much more, you know, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Great team.
LTT, Linus Tech Tips really needs to make another video. That's I totally agree.
Yeah.
That would be great. How can I say no?
Oh,
I
but
don't think.
talking about reviews, Ooh, today was a very good day for us, right?
Oh.
I mean,
Oh, right.
Mhm.
we are.
Yeah. Not too long ago, we were talking about, wow, we really have to get in those like top 10 keyboards of the year or something, and wondering like how do you even get there? And we just had this. This was just by chance that Tech Power Up. If you don't know Tech Power Up yet, by the way, they do the most detailed reviews on keyboards. At least that's the most of them I've read.
I guess internationally.
Yeah, internationally that you'll ever see. Meaning they go through the whole thing. They take the whole thing apart and make pictures of everything and talk about what's inside. So.
It's insane, right?
And
you can even make better pictures than we do.
And make better pictures than we do.
It's pretty cool.
So this was really awesome.
Yep. Got like a 9.4 for them. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So thanks Tech Power Up.
Yeah, that was
2017. Okay. Then we're hitting December. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was also a time because we dropped the whole language packs idea and wanted to make like a German keyboard, a Belgian keyboard, French keyboard, etc. and all these layouts separately because it was like more convenient, and especially if you work with distribution or international resellers, right? And that kind of screwed us over because then there came a point where we didn't have any German language on stock, and I guess
right.
even UK and Belgium and
so when I
everything
was
just dropped.
yeah. So when I was talking about that business that we're talking with a business to work with, they were like they were the one that should have carried those different languages, but because we made that decision not to work with them, we had to make the decision. Okay, we need to produce to still deliver these keyboards as much as we can. We had to drop 2 languages, I think. And we kept like 3 extra languages and made them ourselves so we could still deliver, but there was like a delay for them. It's like that was a big thing. Wow.
Yeah, that was super shitty. But in that month we also introduced merchandise.
Oh. Better
If you don't know,
Better the air right there.
this t-shirt, see this bullet t-shirt? That's like one of the grand prizes on the first place. Pretty dope, right?
Yeah, you know what would be really nice? A Wooting cap, like a Wooting cap for Christmas. Eric?
yeah, Eric,
I
still haven't received it.
I sent the tracking numbers. It's like now it's like a your problem. I don't even know where. I really don't even know where they are, to be honest.
Last time I checked, they were still in transit or something.
Yeah.
I should check it again.
Maybe one day you receive it. Oh yeah, and then some cool reviews came out. The one from Hardware Canucks, also and Stroman. And oh yeah, we started working on a new website. It was also pretty cool in September. And then October.
Yeah.
Yes.
For me personally, these like those, I guess from September up till this last month is really where you can see how we made this like transition from making a keyboard and trying to deliver it to, oh my god, now we need to do so many daily operation things to keep things running, and actively start thinking about how are we going to run Wooting as a continuous business also, which is really tough because there's a lot of stuff we have to do at the same time, because while we're dealing with all these new things from orders coming in and customer questions and providing more information and trying to still work with the distributors and see what they want, and we also have this whole software development in the background, and oh my god, we need to do something about the website, and we're so behind with marketing ideas and execution. That was really
Oh, sorry. Give me a second.
Yep. And I'm looking at it because in October we also started, well, I guess before we started with it, but now we have the first announcement with the 9 PBT keycap set.
oh yeah, well, we started working on it then.
Yep. Well, probably sooner. And it was also the keyboard silence material thing. The whole thing that's now also not on the limbo, but was still searching for solutions. And Those are like all these little things, and I guess it's easier if we have like a company with at least 12 people in it.
Didn't Tino start that already? Did you miss our favorite intern? Tino was a little bit.
Tino started 1 month later, I guess. Tino started in
November, I think.
November.
Yeah, I think in November.
Oh yeah, we had a new website online in November, so that was pretty cool. We had a new intro utility video that was now already outdated after another version of the utility, so we still need to update this video.
Oh, right.
And,
Yeah, the video was made before we made the new utility.
Also research we're working together with, and now we had the testing package for selling separate switches separately to Woot box.
There's some sad news though concerning that loot box. The packaging you see there is not what it's going to be in the end.
Well, I guess this last Friday I walked home and I was thinking about it. Okay, we totally changed the packaging now for the Woot box and the switches, because this type of packaging is really cool, but it's way too expensive to make. Like the startup costs are way too much, and we cannot. Yeah. It's not reasonable for us to make this and put switches in it, because or we have to sell them really expensive, or we're just gonna lose money on it. So even though it's a really cool idea, and I guess the idea will always stick in the back of our heads, and maybe one day we'll find a different way to do it, but now we have a new idea for the whole packaging. But it's like also the whole pit of sharing all the information, because I'm very hyped about this little box, and I can imagine that some people are also hyped about this box, right? Yeah. But they will never receive it. Well, never. At least not anytime soon. And yeah.
If it wasn't, like, if there was, it's mostly also because we just sell switches with it, because we need to make it affordable. We need to make a really huge quantity of them and sell them. But when it comes to our switches, the maximum amount of people that can buy our switches is limited to the people that have a Wooting 1. So it's very tricky.
But as soon as you have a new prototype of packaging, we'll surely share it.
Yeah.
But that's also a thing, because sometimes we have a cool idea and we just share it because we're working on it, but we can never realize it, or it's like too bombastic or too on a higher level that we cannot even reach, And sharing everything, that can only so that's a downfall of sharing everything, but I guess people realize it, that they should take everything with a grain of salt, we say. And there was also like a special blog to make, because this one Jeroen and I made, because Carl was on vacation.
Oh yeah, Carl was on holiday, yeah.
Yeah, that was super cool.
It's such a team effort too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and it's one of my favorite cover pictures too.
True. Well, also the funny thing about the cover picture, we started out like, we need to make like the Fusion GIF, because we need to animate it. So I started doing it in the Photoshop, and I was like working on it for already 45 minutes, and we had so much stuff to do, and I thought like, okay, this is like way too crazy what I'm doing here. And it would take me at least like another 2 hours to make it like work. And I felt like, okay, fuck, I'm just gonna slap our faces on this picture, and it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, we had like this picture for the different stages of the fusion.
The question is how you're gonna look like afterwards.
Probably like a sexy color.
Honestly, I don't want to be the result of you two guys merging, okay?
And then it was like, this from last week. This cover pic is so cool. It's so insane also, like Santa Claus.
Oh, right.
Insane.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's pretty dope.
I really enjoy this cover pic. It's such a commercialized-ish picture.
So to say. Santa Claus is.
Yeah, with the nice Wooting ones on there.
He's very happy. Well, and then we did a 2017 recap, so we just could have read this, I guess, instead of going through all the blogs.
Hey, yeah. Get out your notebook. Get out your notebook and grab a pen. We have a question here. Are you working, because of the quiz, are you working on versions with numpad yet? Are we, guys? Are we working on a version with numpad yet? I think this is this is asked a lot, and we are at this moment not working on a version with a numpad. We are very focused on the Wooting one and improving that experience. As in another keyboard at this moment will be very difficult to, how do you say that in English? I don't want to say, it will be very difficult for us to carry another keyboard right now. It's very hard to afford. Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's a different word I'm looking for. It's like,
well, if we now have to make like a new keyboard with a numpad, we have to like pay new molding costs and everything. So that's pretty expensive, and our cash flow isn't like that great that we can now afford it. And because we're still focusing on the Wooting one, you know, improving that software-wise, firmware-wise, and also learning how everything goes, you know, how the whole business flows and everything. So there's a lot going on right now, but probably because we get so many requests for a numpad that probably, but it's not 100% certain, that our next keyboard probably will feature a numpad, right?
yeah,
That's safe to say.
yeah. I see, the word I was looking for is justify. That's the word I was looking for.
Justify.
Yeah, we can't justify it right now.
Oh, and we also had the
Full
Christmas
size
giveaway,
Wooting too.
of course. Man, it was so cool. I take the Christmas gift. And
So there's the follow-up. So it's safe to buy Wooting one. So you're not releasing a version of numpad next year, 2018?
No, definitely not.
No. Yeah, that's a safe assumption to make, that we're not releasing a numpad version in 2018.
I guess if you have to be
even-
realistic, as soon as we start making a keyboard, it can take up to 2 years before we have it at your doorstep, right? That's like a normal development cycle of a product, and that's also the development cycle we had for the Wooting one. And you can argue, oh, we now have so much experience with keyboards, we can do it probably within a year. But it's not, I guess it's not very realistic.
I think it's other than, like, because we're such a small company, we can do something very fast. But that also means we need to put all our attention on it. And
Well,
if we would make another keyboard like right now means that would spend us a lot of time and focus and a lot of money. That's why the word is very hard for us to justify it right now.
well, I guess if somebody would give us now 25 bitcoins, we could probably make it this year.
Yeah, sure. 25 bitcoins, welcome. Let me send you
Aren't
my
they dropping
wallet.
like crazy right now?
Yeah, drop.
It is dropping now.
I'm not talking about cryptocurrencies. Way too.
Yeah, that's not the crypto live stream.
Okay, so there was like a lot of different stuff happened also, but I guess to like recap it really fast: failed mass production, succeeded mass production, delivery, new cool features for the utility, and more features will come in 2018. And we evolved more as into a company with Wooting. I guess that's how you can say it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also yeah.
That's pretty.
And it's yeah, exactly.
So let me.
That's it.
I prepared a screen.
So in terms of switches, the clicky switches make way too much noise for my liking. When will I be able to buy a second set of switches? So this is exactly when we're talking about focusing on resources and everything. These are kind of the things that we really need to work on. One of the things we need to work on, because we're working very hard on getting those separate switches out. But we're just hitting so many problems with the packaging and not fitting within the price range we want it to be in, etc.
Yeah, plus and also Sibi also asked for the ground switches earlier. Will ground switches be available in the future?
Yeah, so ground switches are actually in development. It's very dependent on the switch manufacturer to actually release them. The only thing we can do at this point is give them feedback and push for them to start releasing it. But for now, there is only switch other than blue and red right now is the black switch. And the only way to get the black switch will be by buying it separately at this moment, unless there's enough requests for actually making a keyboard with black switch installed already. analog G15.
That's what we want,
Wooting
right?
control.
We all want an analog G15.
Right.
Is that
Full membrane optical switches. I don't
Oh.
know if you're membrane, it kind of like counters the whole idea of optical. I guess you could still have it though.
okay? But
That's
let's jump to the next topic.
Mhm.
And I prepared this image this morning. The Wooting One
Image?
2K17 quiz.
Hey.
Hey.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Oh.
So here's like an overview of the prizes you can win. We've got 3 prizes. We've got a first prize. That's like the Wooting puller shirt. The PVD keycap set of 9 pieces. So the WASD, the arrow keys and the escape key. The ones we made already. Is it like prototypes or is it like a finished product color?
Well, you could say the product is, as far as the quality of the keycaps and from what you can expect from it, it's a finished product. But as far as like you don't get any special packaging of it or something like that. So, but other than that, it's kind of like a finished product.
Yeah. So they're like very rare because still like.
But yeah. There is sample keycaps in the end still, so meaning that it's a color we wanted to try and see what it looked like. I actually have it on the keyboard right now. And we have some, let me see if I can, to know if it's,
Let me make color a bit bigger.
this cable in the way. So I have it on the keyboard right now. So it's this escape key, WASD, and the arrow keys. So it's a double shot PBT keycaps, which is a bit more purple-ish
Double shot
color.
PVT. It's very nice.
And it's 9 sets.
You get a few fun keycaps as the first prize winner and a super.
Oh, maybe Quinn can finally win those fun keycaps out here.
The enter key, right? That's the one you wanted.
Oh.
Why has to do his best then? And you get a super hot game key because, in my opinion, super hot is one of the best games you can play with analog, but it's so underrated. I just want to push it out there. The second prize is a PBT keycap set, the same one, also purple one, some fun keycaps and a super hot game. But you don't get like the super exclusive puller t-shirt. And the third prize just fun keycaps and a super hot game key. That's pretty cool, right? And
Yeah.
like I said at the beginning of the stream, there are like 10 questions that count. But if there's a tie on the first place, second place or third place, we have a tiebreaker question, and the one who's the closest with the tiebreaker question gets like an extra point, I guess. That's the first thing
I
to do.
see Quinn is already crying for his enter key.
Yeah.
Don't worry, man. It's I sent a ton of these keycaps to Eric to ship. So your enter keycap is in between. And to answer the question about spacebar, yeah, this is the special, one of the fun keycaps you'll get as one of the winners. This is spacebar. It was also installed on my keyboard. You just saw it.
Okay, so for the quiz, we'll put in 8 minutes, I guess. That's enough for the quiz. And after 8 minutes, I'm just going to stop the responses. And if you haven't finished it by then, it's done. You're out.
Yeah,
This
how
is-
are we gonna do it?
I've got everything prepared.
Whoa. Didn't we use like a website last year?
Yeah,
You're not gonna use the one?
we're also gonna use the same website. But first, I'm going to start the quiz music. It's getting more exciting.
It's the last one.
What do you have, like Once to Be a Millionaire?
And now I'm going to share the link where you guys can enter the quiz. It's this one. Go for it. And everybody, go to the quiz. And we're starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh.
8 minutes only!
Woo! Exciting.
So
So wait, what do we do?
one of the prizes is also the fun keycaps, right? So I just showed the spacebar, and the other hard analog is another one. That's also one of the special fun keycaps you'll receive. Just like the sunglasses.
Wait, so how does the quiz work? You just enter Google form and then we're gonna check the answers, or?
Yep. It's a quiz style, so we can see who answered what question and how many thing, and it's going to be cool. It's better than last year.
Okay.
Shall I turn up the exciting quiz music?
It's like a timer music.
Oh, you have
That
the.
continuously build up.
It's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music. So, during the quiz, 7 minutes left, guys. I finished it within 20 seconds and I got all the answers correct.
There's definitely some questions in there that it's impossible for you to really know. But that's the randomness factor, right?
Nobody finished it yet. Nobody.
Oh, Cop Vampire. Question 4. Fuck egg nudes. I have to click it. Wrong or right, it doesn't matter.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, well, last year the quiz we did a different style where timing actually played a bigger role. Who was the fastest? Fastest.
Kind of weird down there.
Yeah,
Website.
but then, of course, the next factor was like how many did you have correct, and then how fast were you? So most correct is the best, and then based on who was faster would win. But this style, in this case, is just by the questions itself, and I think to break the tie in the end, I had an idea. I don't remember if it was just rolling a dice, for example, or.
No, he just sold it like half an hour ago.
Yeah, I forgot what it was. So.
It's gonna be how many emails did we receive this year in social at Wooting. Oh,
But that's one of the questions. So what if?
that's a tiebreaker question.
Yeah. But what if you have the same? I'm done. Can I still change answers? I don't think you can change anymore after you submit it. Yeah, it's a real quiz, man. You gave it to the teachers. You gave it to the Wooting teachers, so we're gonna check that quiz. See how well you did this year.
Very, very straight.
And next year, obviously, we're going to remember what you scored this year for next year. Cop completed. Man.
Okay, I'm back. 3 people filled in the quiz already.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's Quinn and Cop, and I'm guessing it's Fiazlon. I'm not sure how to pronounce it always, but
No, not Fiesnon. He didn't finish yet.
ooh.
Is he?
If you're
Is he even watching? Is he in the chat?
Yeah, he was.
oh, we didn't even did we say how many questions were inside in total?
Well, there are 10 questions in total, and one is like the tiebreaker question.
So that's 11 then, right? Or is the 10th is the tiebreaker?
The 11th is the tiebreaker.
Yeah. Here goes nothing.
I guess you can even search in a blog for most answers, right?
Quinn says there are 12 questions. Now I'm even confused how many questions there are.
We'll see in 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah. I just corrected some of the questions. What's
Well,
the
what's
name?
the
I'm thinking. I'm not gonna say it now, but that's a good question, Flemmy. A cockpit noob.
Noob
Think
Crusher
Cop
66.
Cop probably just went for all the cool answers.
Well,
And that's the.
there isn't nobody who answered all the 10 questions correct.
Wait, is Tino even allowed to participate?
Nah, he can participate, but he cannot win any prizes. He has like inside information, even though he doesn't have answers to all the questions, and he didn't even saw the questions on beforehand. It would be kind of cheating, right?
What picture was the settings flash in the Kudo Master and Luck demo. Is this an additional question?
10 people.
Uh-oh, 2.5 minutes left.
Oh, 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Dun, 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 dun.
Most
Well, I'm curious if Tino just if he would submit it. I'm curious how many questions he would have gotten right. Because on average there are only 5 questions. On average, people answer 5 questions correct so far. That's something, right? Did I make them too difficult? I thought we were fairly.
no, it's all multiple choice, so right. So multiple choice in general is that it's never too difficult because you always have a percentage chance of getting stuff correct.
Well, I still don't see Vasilion in the responses.
If he gets less than 5 right, fire him.
Multiple guess.
Oh.
That's it. Yeah. That's how we do all our tests, right? At school, university time. That's how you do everything, right?
Less than 1 minute, guys.
Uh-oh.
Speedrun for everyone.
You can't correct your answers,
Yeah.
you just realized you made a mistake.
Yep, we made it very difficult.
That's so typical.
40 seconds left. Ooh.
Oh. Dun, dun. Maybe you should intensify the music.
Maybe Vasilion entered within a different name. 20 seconds left. Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Alright.
Multiple guesses, my life motto.
25 seconds. Oh, 20 seconds almost. I'm seeing the delayed stream, of course. So, how many seconds here?
1.
No idea.
It's over. It's done.
Oh.
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 Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun.
Okay.
In game, click ransom. If I win, you all suck.
It's done.
Oh,
It's done.
he entered. He entered as V, I think.
I'm not accepting any more responses. It's done. Let me turn off this.
V-Song was in game. Oh no.
Let me turn off this music because it's finally mad. Almost getting a heart
Yeah,
attack.
it's intense.
Okay, back to the deep house. So now I have to find a way how to display all the answers. Let's see. What would be the best thing to do this? Individual.
That's V for
Okay,
Quinn.
okay. So are we ready, guys, for the final results? So let me see if I can zoom this in. There isn't anybody who answered all 10 questions correct.
Oh.
Nobody.
But the last question is like near impossible to have correct. Right?
So before we're going to check who the winner is, we're first going to through all the questions. So the first one, which reviewer said the following: I really liked how this felt under my fingers. Was it soft in a good way? Kind of like typing on boobs. But that was like Linus Tech Tips, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Stroman? I guess Stroman couldn't even say it because it was like, is it Swedish?
Yeah.
But do we have like most incorrect answer?
And we have Tom's Hardware, he would also never say it because he's like professional to a certain level.
Professional. Yeah.
And Harvard Canucks was like, it could have been, right? It could have been.
Could have
Actually,
been. Yeah.
it was Luke. But it was the detective video.
Yeah, but at least most
It
people
was
got this
Luke,
one correct,
yeah.
right? So that was pretty cool. Question
It
number
was
2.
Luke who said the boob typing, yeah. But it's the Linus Tech Tips channel. Dun, dun.
So, question 2. It was pretty difficult. When did the first Wooting 1 arrive at someone's doorstep?
Oh, it is hard. Yeah.
That was the 20th of July. Yep, that was the day. So everything was
Nice.
close.
pretty surprised like most people got it, or that's the most chosen answer.
Yeah, but at least most people got it right, so that's a good thing, right? How many live streams did you participate in? Wow, this one is very difficult. I mean, I guess this one is the most difficult. I mean, this boost answer to your question isn't even part of Wooting. I mean, did you even watch this live stream? So, we didn't count this live stream in, so this one isn't yet because Jeroen is now participating in it. But
you did 17, 18, 20?
yeah.
Whoa,
So
that's rough.
Jeroen participated in 18 Twitch streams. There are 17 of them on YouTube, so that was also kind of difficult. But in total, Jeroen joined 18 on Twitch. But Jeroen did 2 on Facebook, both on QX. So it's 20 in total. So I don't know who has this correct, but awesome if you did.
Whoever guessed that is correct.
Question 4. What's the most requested feature? Full-size keyboard, RGB effects, more control over the DKS, or Eric Nudes? Well, Eric Nudes is like a close runner-up, but a full-size keyboard, everybody wants a full-size keyboard. Even in during this live stream, somebody asked, hey, will the numpad version be available? So yeah, it's...
I really like what Yang said like about the live stream participation, like 20. No way, it was such a round number. That's so much multiple guessing.
Well, when I was like making a quiz question last Friday, I said to you, should I go for every answer on B to make the people crazy? But I just randomized a little bit. What's the name of our intern? Of course, it's Tino. It's not Noob Crusher 66. I mean, come on, guys. Like Tino, I mean, this one could have been. It's more Swedish than Tino, I guess, or more Finnish than Tino, I guess. And Timo, it's not Timo.
That's the runner-up.
It's not the Lion King, right? How many Wooting snapper bags did we sell this year in the store? Well, the correct answer is 0, because nobody likes our stupid caps. That's why we can give them away to Calder and Jeroen, and I have one, and we gave a few away to the Wood Help because nobody likes Wooting caps, I guess. So if you would have guessed 10 or 17, it's incorrect. It's
I would have been happy with 17.
No one likes. But this is also a very difficult question because you would expect, they would have at least sold a few of them, right?
Yeah. This is something we would have expected too. But it's also, I mean, it's just even hard to get to where to buy them.
You should imagine. Oh, the caps. Sorry, I was looking at the next one.
Well, the correct answer changes if I order 17 right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Order a foolish shirt too, so you don't need the first price anymore.
Okay. What key combination do you have to press to reset restore the Wooting 1? I mean, this is also like a more situational question. I mean, if you never encountered it, it's difficult to know. And if you never read the manual or looked online, it's difficult to know. But it's like right arrow plus mode key. Escape plus mode key would be like too difficult because you cannot do with one hand and insert your USB at the same time. And
sounds logical though.
It sounds logical though, but it's right arrow and a mode key.
It's impractical.
When did the first Wooting mass production take? I mean, this was like easy, guys. We showed it during this live stream half an hour ago. This was easy, right?
Most of the people got it right though. I'm surprised how like evenly divided it is with the others.
I guess remembering the 16th would be easy. And I guess maybe some people mistaken with the second mass production.
Oh.
Yeah, but what's the 16th of March? This one. What tool did you use to test the Wooting 1 analog signal in the hotel? Well, it was the coat hanger. He didn't use another Wooting 1, but it would be cool to use another Wooting 1. I mean, that's...
I think that was actually the first thing we tried. Yeah, because we needed like a flat surface, about as big as the Wooting 1. So yeah.
But
it didn't work. It didn't work.
Yeah. I think it didn't work because it was too stiff, so it couldn't press all the keys down evenly.
Okay, because I know there's like a troll in the middle of us. Everybody has this answer correct. I mean, for what reason did we cancel first mass production? It isn't that Carl missed his flight to China. It isn't because there weren't enough Switch in the factory. And it isn't because we ran out of money, so we had to sell snapper bags and t-shirts, because nobody buys caps. And the components, it was because the component shifted, causing a PCB alignment. This one is interesting. The tiebreaker question. Somebody said 0, 1, 2, 3, 9, 9, 9, 8.
6 million.
That's a lot. 6 million. But nobody even got, like, this one is the closest. The correct answer is, I'd have to.
Wait, huh? How did he?
I don't know who it is, but the correct answer is 2,547.
Oh, pretty close.
So that's pretty close. It's only like
Really
200
close, yeah.
But
Really
let's
surprised.
see who got the most answers correct. Nobody got this one correct. Frequently missed
Yeah.
questions. These were difficult. Yeah.
Next time, I'll just miss my flight next time, so that can be the right answer. If that was you, Yang Yang.
So let's see who got the most answers correct.
Da, 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 da.
Okay, so the biggest loser is Seta, 67. The winner is Vapor, together with Lily. Oh, that's pretty neat. So we have to check the... And these ones. Oh, it's going to be a very close one. Between Quinn, Winterjas, Bucket Mouse, Lily and Vapor. So now we have to determine who wins the grand prize, right?
Mhm.
The tiebreaker question, right?
Tiebreaker question. So, what's the best I can do? It's like 2, 5, 4, 7 minus this? Does it work like that?
Oh, I can 999 the 9999. Got it right.
Why is this working?
Just yeah, because you don't have is. Forget to get is there.
So now we can see.
My wife has more corrected me.
Oh, now we can see who's the closest. Well, see, the closest one actually is this one. So the winner is Lily. And the second runner-up is Vapor. So let me add a column here. So Lily is the winner. Vapor is the
What?
second winner. And now for the third runner-up we have Quinn, Jasper and Bucket Mouse. And the closest one is this one. It's Jasper. Jasper's number 3.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
Lily is my wife.
Oh.
I was already thinking, Lily. Wait a minute.
Wait,
Didn't see anything in the chat. Is this?
wait, did Lily join or did Lily cheat with Quinn's account?
Or did Quinn just went a second time with Lily?
Secretly discussing Manson is like, oh, what did you get? Oh, question 2.
Well, Manson isn't even here, right? Manson didn't even join.
Oh, he was here at the start of the stream. Oh, I didn't do it.
Well, it's still Lily filled in herself though. I sent her the link. Whoa, what?
No, she's pretty smart then. Oh, we can
No
see.
way.
Can we
Oh,
look
Quinn, shame on you.
Let's see which questions Lily got correct actually. Individual, not this one. Dutch fella. Lily, oh, Lily? Lily. Well, Lily got the Linus Tech Tips right. The first Wooting 1 right, someone's doorstep, well, that was a difficult question. Oh, she got the 20 correct. Mm-hmm. Full size keyboard. Tino, man, everybody knows Tino, right? How many Wooting Snappy Bags did we sell last year? Yeah, well, 17. Not correct.
Great. Yeah.
At least she knows how to do a Wooting restore. 16th of March, well, she was paying attention during the live stream, I guess. The code hanger, the component shifted, and the tiebreaker. Yeah, well, pretty cool.
Really good job, Lily.
Good job.
Good job. Go see,
She's
go
watching,
see.
but otherwise you have to tell her, Quinn. She did a good job.
So I guess it's best if Lily, Vapor, and Winterjas send a mail to social@wooting.nl
She watched most of the streams with me. Oh wow, okay. That explains a big part of it.
Thanks, Lily.
It also means he's
Yeah.
paying more attention to you, Cliff.
Yep.
Yeah.
You should make her would help.
Yeah. That should become new would help.
So, Lily wins the Pula t-shirt, the PBT keycap set, fun keycaps, and a super hot game key. Vapor gets the PBT keycap set, fun keycaps, and a super hot game key. And Jasper wins the fun keycaps and the super hot game key.
Congratulations, guys.
So just send an email to social@wooting.nl if you want anything with your nickname. And then we'll ask for all the information we need from you guys, and that's about it. Great quiz. Great time.
Best is
Good stuff.
Best
Good
already
stuff.
just-
Good stuff.
best already put all your address information, contact name, phone number.
Yeah, just put all your contact information in, and Lily, you have to also put up with a shirt size you want. I guess you can get like M, L, or XL.
Yeah, I'm not sure what size are
All about a
available.
constellation prize come back.
Oh, damn. Like, how about a constellation prize?
Just wait one more year, okay?
So that would be for the one that scored the lowest?
Well, the one who scored the lowest is Seta, 76. What
So
question
let's
did
send
he
him a
got
Wooting
right?
1 then. Let's send Seda 67 a Wooting 1. Then he can learn a bit more.
You only got the coat hanger question correct.
We mentioned that one in this stream, right? I think everyone who put Eric nudes should get Eric nudes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Gets oh man,
Oh.
3 people.
Fiasa says, I did the quiz in 30 seconds during PUBG lobby. How about speedrun prize? There's no timer on it. I guess you could calculate it though, but
No. We did it last year. Remember last year we also had like 2 or 3 prizes, and in the end we figured out 5 prizes, but it's like, it's done. Maybe maybe next year we'll have like
next year.
maybe next year. It's an improvement for the quiz next year. We need to
Yeah.
have the fastest one and the worst one, and then yeah. Cool.
yeah. So great job on the quiz, guys. And I really enjoyed this quiz compared to last year. It was also, I think, better. Oh, last year we were really stuck with setting it up right.
Well, last year
So
was
this
also,
was
last year was also complete shit because I looked back at the live stream from last year to see what questions we did then and if I could like repeat something. But last year we didn't even show any questions on the screen. It was like only the 3 of us constantly in picture, and then we just blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
So this is much better. So next year we can do it even better, and maybe next year there is a Wooting 1 for winners. Who knows?
Oh.
Oh, we'll see. I think the keycaps are very cool that we're able to do the keycaps this year.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the keycaps.
Participating is more important than winning.
Sure. Sure.
It is. With black switches. Oh yeah, switches would even be more awesome, but you do have to have a Wooting 1 for it. So
Or maybe Eric Nudes.
all right, so that was the quiz.
That's
Well,
it.
now
Bye
we-
guys.
That was all the interesting part. I think we have about 20 minutes left for the last 2 topics, and it's about now we looked at the past, we talked about the past, and we even did a quiz about the past, but now we should also talk about the future, and that's 2018, which is tomorrow. How long till New Year? So my tomorrow starts in 2 hours and 20 minutes. So if in 20 minutes and we can still have a full 2 hours. It would be great. So we're talking about the future now, and my question to you guys first is, looking at what we've done this year, what would you kind of hope that we will do in 2018, and does not include a full-size keyboard?
Make a full-size keyboard.
And I don't know if it's a little weird question. I just wonder. Oh, man said you totally missed the quiz.
Did I miss a call? Oh, no.
Cup Vampire says me as support. 2018 is it's a new year. It's a whole fresh new year where we start the year with actually already having run stuff. So Mr. President just woke up. You missed the quiz, man.
Oh no.
Make a numpad keyboard. So that one is not allowed. Actually, if you send us, no, never mind.
What were you gonna say?
No,
What?
send us
Quid's wife, Lily won.
and the second winner up was Vapor, and the third one was
What was it?
Winterjas, Jasper.
Yeah, Jasper.
Yeah. That was it. Cup Vampire waits for support role to be added. Well, so for 2018, Cup, if you want to be part of the Wood support, you need to be very knowledgeable about Wooting 1 and Wooting. Looks like the quiz didn't really show that at this moment.
No.
Oh.
No. If you want to participate as one of the Wood help and help us on Discord answering some questions and stuff, that's definitely possible. And we can give this role.
Yeah.
And because it's volunteer work, so would love for you to help us out, man. That'd be awesome.
And maybe you get a Wooting cap because we don't sell them anyway.
Maybe, yeah. Actually, yeah. Everybody from help got a Wooting cap, right? Okay, so now that Eric is back, let's start talking about 2018 and what 2018 is going to look like for Wooting. I want to start off the conversation with saying it does not include a full-size keyboard. And I'm first looking forward to Computex, for example. Because Computex is this moment where everybody expects you to introduce something new and release something new and have something exciting. But the question is, are we actually going to have something like that at Computex or not?
Not sure.
And
That's one.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I just was reading the chat. Sorry.
I'm talking about there's Computex coming up. 2008 Computex is a moment where I always show something. Every manufacturer tries to show something new and exciting, and it's kind of the big question: is Wooting going to show something new and exciting during Computex or not?
Well, it depends.
And I think something like new keycaps or top plates. So I think Young and Manson are thinking in the right direction already. Is for
I like the B2 AdWords 0mm up Allen. That's it.
That's also in the right direction. Like we said a couple times before, is that our main focus in 2018 is going to be on the Wooting 1 and improving the experience and everything around it. and that definitely includes, for example, the switch box, which is that wood box mentioned. Keycaps is definitely part of that, and top plates. And we really want to make what we have, make it better before we start endeavoring something really big and new, which is very dangerous for us to do at this moment. Because now we've only been, Wooting One, the idea of Wooting One exists now for a bit more than 2 years, I guess, since we started. Is this third year? No, right? Is it? No, one. Whoa.
At least for 2.5 years.
Two and a half, yeah. 2.5 years ago, we really started. But we only started, like, the Wooting One's actually on the market only for half a year now. Right. So,
well,
it's
I guess like our plans, you can maybe like put it in a few categories just to make it more easily. And I guess like improvements around Wooting One, so making it firmware-wise better and software-wise better, more functionality, let's say RGB effects, more customizability over DKS, sharing profiles within the utility.
Yeah. Automatic profile loading.
And improving the whole also utility experience and making it more user-friendly. That will be like our main focus for 2018, and even more things, and maybe make it more compatible in games, or make plugins for game engines, but tons of things you can do to improve the whole Wooting experience. That's what our main focus will be. And besides of that, also introducing some new products like top plates, keycaps, new switches, those kind of things, new products.
What about a cap?
The 2018 Wooting cap that will sell like crazy.
That will be sell like crazy. Well, if it sells like even one more than this version, it's like 100% improvement.
Maybe we should do 2018 Christmas sweater.
But I guess it's an even more excited thing for 2008, at least what I'm more excited about, is how we're going to structurize things within Wooting, like the company Wooting. Because especially the last couple of months, we were slowly evolving into a more legit company with all these things like marketing, R&D, development, business relationships, and all that kind of thing. Everybody just did something, and things would progress, but it didn't progress in a way we wanted it to progress, I guess. It didn't went fast enough for us. And sometimes we're doing things that is like way out of our comfort zone, and that isn't really a wrong thing, but we're not combining all the Wooting powers we have internally. So within 2018, we're going to work more on a project basis, right, Calder?
Yeah, it's really good you mentioned this. If we talk more about internally at Wooting, like this is for me, this is I personally feel this is one of the most important things is, and we mentioned many times, is how we changed internally at Wooting from going to this we have this big project trying to deliver a keyboard on the market, to we're running a business on a daily basis, and now there's like all this other stuff that's hitting us. And this whole change, also changed the way we really have to work and do things. And I think what's most difficult is for us has been until so far is that every time there's so many new things introduced to us, and it's very hard to know how many things you have to say no to, and where would you want to put your main focus on, and how far ahead are you going to plan this thing or not. With the Wooting One, it was quite very simple. Everything that heads towards the direction of getting the Wooting One to the market is the most vital and important part of what we need to do. And that also had a really negative impact also in hindsight, thinking in that way. But that at least kept us focused on getting the Wooting One to the market and making it the best we can. But the negative impact was that we didn't focus at all on our marketing anymore and selling the keyboard anymore. So that's kind of like what's going to change in 2018 is start looking much further ahead, putting up those projects, and dividing responsibilities and trying to really grow as a business, as a company, so we can actually do things like, you know, make a full-size keyboard. So that's
So splitting things up more little projects and have one person be responsible for a certain project and knowing where he can get his expertise from. So for example, if I'm focusing on marketing, I make a plan and I'll make sure I'll hit my targets and do it within a certain time amount. But if I need to have, for example, copyright or any text for marketing stuff, I just go to Carl and say like, hey Carl, I need this text, can you spend an hour to create this awesome text? Or if you want something cool, interactive, which involves coding, I just go to you and say like, hey, can you magically make this work out of your fingertips?
Hey, custom graphics. Wait, how much are the... So just as a side note here about the caps and the clothing we have on the store. So we have it on the Wooting US store. Like we have it 2 stores, we have an international store and a US store. But the thing is, we don't stock the clothing or the caps or something like that. We didn't invest in the stock of it. So every time we receive an order of the caps, which we have it, it's made first and then it's sent. And it's not made by us, it's made by a third party company. So that's why we just have, that's why our cost is very high. So 30, so now you mentioned €30 for the cap. It's like most of it goes to actually making the thing and shipping. Cap shipping is more expensive than t-shirt shipping, surprisingly.
Hey, did you see this idea? Actual audio feedback where you press the key and the Wooting crew will say the letter.
A, B, C. That's pretty cool though.
Makes me think about this Rocket keyboard, right?
Yeah, right.
But that's actually a pretty cool idea. Maybe we can put it... Oh, we should put it in at least for April Fools, you know? Make it an utility and you update the keyboard and it's like pew, A, B, C, D, E. It's pretty cool. Spacebar. Escape. WASD. www.
So it's a really annoying functionality if you turn it on. So to continue for 2018, yeah. So we have internally, we're going to make a lot of big changes, how we tackle things. I really hope we can start adding more people to Wooting in general. But this really depends on how fast or how much we grow over the coming months, I guess. Because it would be really great to have more people on board. Like we're really happy with Tino now, for example. He's not working or doing things full time, but the things.
You mean Noob Crusher 66?
So Noob Crusher 66 is doing a great job until so far, and the work that he does really does help to get more things done. It's really I guess a fresh perspective again. So really looking forward to having others and more people on board. So hopefully we get to a point where we can actually afford doing that. And then when it really comes to products, like physical products, I think we haven't planned or expect to have a full new keyboard this year. That would just put too much on us. But you can definitely expect everything around and has to do with keyboards, everything that is not as major as the keyboard itself this year. Because again, you know, that's what it comes with software development. Most emphasis is on improving the experience on the keyboard and actually making steps forward with the technology, but more so trying to build something stable as a company. We need so we can actually in the longer term keep doing what we're doing.
That's an interesting question. How many people need to buy a Wooting 1 before you can hire Tino?
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so if Tino would pay itself back, let me think. Depends on how expensive Tino wants to be, of course.
Pretty expensive, I would assume.
If Tino itself, 50, so maybe if it would sell per month anywhere between the 50 or 80 keyboards, thanks to Tino, he could pay himself back.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
easy,
Oh,
easy, you know.
I did a different calculation. Well, if the three founders of us, like, what is our yearly salary? Around 100k, right? So we need to make at least 300k. And then what does Tino earn? 20k a year? 20k? So we need 320k at least. That's like divided by 160 for a keyboard.
Well, I think like one thing to add to the whole what I want to do in 2018 is what I would also like to see is besides like adding more features and stability to the Wooting, is also do something like cool with analog. Because we had like some people work on for like research stuff, but I would also like to see some like more special gaming things. Like, especially since like people actually have the keyword they use it now. It'd be cool to have some like a Unity plugin or maybe somewhere in a game or anything like that. Start on that in the new year.
Well, I guess if you see where we started 2017, where we ended 2017, it's like an insane improvement overall with like sales, product creation, I guess, and how we do the whole business thing. I mean, that's such an improvement, and we keep improving everything like baby steps at a time, because we don't make like too big of a leaps or jumps, because that's risky, I guess. Sort of.
Our biggest issue, if you would ask like why are some things delayed or why we're a bit slow with some things, it's because we have such a learning curve. We also always have to go through. As everything we're doing right now is like unexplored territory. We have like zero experience in the past to compare it with. So everything is, like a lot of things, it's like you have to force yourself to get in this uncomfortable area and just jump in, learn, and just do whatever you can to even get to a point where you think like, okay, this can go forward. And if you would have like a lot more experience with other jobs in the past or with doing something similar, then you would just jump through it because you have like a network connection, or you've done it before, so you know exactly the steps you need to take, or what is involved if you want to do X, Y, or Z. So I think that's what makes it really tough for us. Including the website is a really good example of how we evolved from shitty pal website to more and more to something more useful. And just also with advertising, for example, none of us are marketeers and expert advertisers. And basically, I think the last couple of months we've jumped into Facebook advertising more and more, learn how to work with it and how to do this whole how to make ads in general and tracking people and seeing what kind of ads would be fun to interact with them. And it's totally new for us, a big learning curve, but now we're getting more and more accustomed to it, so we feel more comfortable just making stuff instead of just trying to learn how to deal with it.
Yep.
Have you thought custom graphics? Have you thought about entering gaming with Wooting keys in something like this? What is that?
It's a numpad device.
Oh, okay. So that's a very extreme numpad, by the way. Why is it so big for a numpad?
I really like the Turkey standalone numpad. It's a pretty nice design.
Yeah, there's also a calculator and everything, right?
Yeah.
So, the tricky thing with making this, let me start off making like a gamepad device. The most tricky thing is that ergonomics, okay? That's the first thing that's a bit scary because you don't know what are the right ergonomics. So what we can do is we can take some of the biggest competitors and just like the Logitech and Razer one. I forgot the name
Orb Weaver,
or something.
yeah.
Orb Weaver, yeah. So and we can look at how they built it and just make something very similar, so we don't have to worry about that. But then you hit another problem, okay? The gamepad actually has a lot more parts than the keyboard itself. Smaller parts also. And you could say like the more separate plastic parts you have, the more tooling you need to have. Meaning that maybe we need to have like free, when I say tooling, I mean molds. Like you need to have more molds. And making these molds, so maybe for one gamepad we need like 3 or 4 molds. And one mold is just really expensive. And the only way you can afford this like really high investment cost is by selling enough of them. And
I guess the biggest problem isn't really about money, but it's also about a very niche product.
Yeah.
I mean, we already noticed that we never thought that a 10 keyless version would be a niche product, but it is a sort of niche product because we get daily mails about numpad versions and we need to have a numpad and a full-size keyboard. And this device is even a more niche device, and it isn't smart for us to put our money on that train at this point and to make such a product. Because it's expensive, it probably won't sell as much as we could do with, let's say, a full-size version. Especially for our beginning, because we're still... Are we still a startup? Are we still starting?
well, it depends how you look at it, but
Yeah.
our product is just on the market. I feel it's still considered startup-y, right?
So let's say we're
Yeah.
still a startup. It's too big of a risk and too much money we have to put into it, and we probably cannot make it work because it's a very niche product. Yeah. But maybe one day we'll have something like that because I want to make everything
What I
work,
think-
right.
What I think is something feasible to think about is when it comes to making this kind of like separate device, as soon as it's like CNC made, like CNC cut, or something. Well, you mentioned that 3D printing, for example. I still need to check out. So we would still have to check out more industrial 3D printing and see how well it's done right now. But you can make it like you don't need to make a high investment beforehand, but just makes the product itself much more expensive per piece. So it makes also more the price would be pretty freaking high. And well, Razer stuff is terrible. I've owned 2 Black Widow Ultimates, both had key fillers, some with headset, cheaply made, and never last. At least stuff post 2014. Yeah, that's it's interesting you mention this custom graphics because in general for these bigger companies, they you should. If I'm just thinking about how many keyboards we need to sell to afford some things in general, you need to run pretty high quantities, and for those companies, they're mega big and they have a lot of cost other than the product. And the only way they can make their product affordable is by pushing down the cost with like as much as they can. So in a company like Razer, when it comes to keyboard and mice, or like keyboard, mice, and headsets, I guess, they would have to, like their keyboard cost, maybe it's like, I would guess, $30 or $40 at most per piece.
Yeah,
Something
especially
like
when they
that.
have their own switches, right?
Oh, and with those own switch, yeah, with the own switches. Oh, that's actually what makes it cheaper, since they use those Cal switches and do them themselves, and they probably negotiate really, really tough with their manufacturer.
Oh, yeah.
That's also the only way they can get the cost down. Do some really tough negotiation, and they have this power because it doesn't matter what product they make. They definitely will sell an X amount, and they definitely will produce an X amount. So if you as a manufacturer get a deal with Razer, you're really happy because you're going to make an X amount for sure, and your profit margin can be quite little, but you're still earning a lot because you're going to make a really big quantity. but Razer knows this, so they're gonna like push you like hell to get the cheapest price ever.
I also guess like if our production runs would be like 10k a piece or like 15,000 at once, we can also lower down the cost and we can sell the Wooting one cheaper. But we don't have that much money to purchase 15,000 keyboards at once. So it's an interesting world here.
I went on the Corsair K95 RGB, no issues ever since. Yeah. Yeah, great. Corsair is doing a good job. I don't have anything else to say, but I do have to say, when we were at Impact, the Impact event, I was at this a keyboard event with Jeroen, and we passed by these different models from like different Corsair model keyboards, and also the Lux version, right, Jeroen? Was the Lux version also there?
You mean the one with the wheel on it?
Oh, with the volume knob and everything. I think it was like the premium luxury version with the individual RGB and the premium everything. And kind of it was a little bit disappointing, right? Yeah. How those media buttons felt compared to what we expected it to be.
I mean, the general build quality of those keyboards is really good, but especially when you add like extra stuff, like I had, I think like a wheel on the side, like a flat sort of more horizontal wheel, and it just felt really, really weak, really clumsy.
Yeah.
And kind of ruined the premium feel of the keyboard. Yeah,
and I definitely think for a company like Corsair, when it comes to their keyboards, the biggest, like, it's for every keyboard you buy, the highest cost is the switches. And if they could do Corsair, if Corsair does the Corsair is like the cherry switches, so they pay a big price for those cherry switches. But I'm also kind of assuming, because before they had this like exclusive deals also, they just bought out all the switches.
Yeah.
I guess they just went very high on buying them in to get the price down also, and also making sure the rest of the market couldn't get it.
That's true.
Well, a lot of questions coming in. I should also like end the stream, right? Because Elskalder can't have a happy new year.
Yes, we can do.
Let's do 2 questions.
Let's do some more questions. We still can have like a solid 8 minutes or so.
What?
And then it's done then? Oh, like 15. 10-15? We can close it down. P2 Edwards, what are some software or game ideas you guys are hoping to see made for Wooting? I think this is good for Jeroen.
I think, so I assume like you only talk about software game ideas like we don't directly make. Like I think first good one would be support for plugins for Unity, so that people want to use Unity for game development, which is by far the most popular one especially for smaller game developers, that they can sort of play around with using analog keyboard in the game. I think that will be a good start. And then, I mean, unless there's like somebody in the game studio like all of a sudden very enthusiastic about this keyboard, I don't really see like a direct way to like get into a big game or something, because I mean what happens most of the time is if you want to be in a big game you have to throw big money on it, and that's just something we don't have. Another thing, I think in general, just for us, just making the experience smoother. That's what we'll mostly work on. I think Unity plugin will be a big thing, and then just sort of exploring, hopefully with some indie studios. Yeah.
And this is with the aim to really get analog more into the market.
Yeah.
I think what is also very interesting is, and sometimes it's hard for us to realize, we don't really know what to do with it, but Um, it's very, very surprising in the industry how many people and companies know about us within the industry.
Sure.
And they're really looking at us and taking a look at, like, how is this analog stuff going to work out, and how much interest is there really, and which direction is it heading? Should we also try something with this?
No.
And we know for a fact that they are also looking, some of them at least are looking at, how can we also do something like this? So I think it's, other than how we progress further in the scene of analog keyboards, it's going to be very interesting to see how others are going to progress in this field. So if you look at the reality right now, gaming keyboards in general, what can you do, to introduce something new? Like, it's really lacked any kind of innovation for like years, and this whole RGB stuff really hit an end. And now they're even picking up stuff from the mechanical keyboard scene, like the keycaps. And it's just, it's slowly hitting an end on what they can really, really do.
Yeah, I think Edward and Custom Graphics also bring up two good points, which is using it for art production tool or Photoshop. And I mean, honestly, we haven't really explored those features yet, but there should be. I think Eric. I mean, if you have like a plugin that will support Xbox controller, you're pretty much almost already there. And then,
well,
yeah,
it's pretty cool, but it's still is like a workaround, right? It is like a clean, easy
True.
solution. That's the thing we
Yeah,
really
that's
work
true.
towards. But so, for example, Ableton Live, you can like mix music and do cool things with analog by just downloading this Xbox plugin. Yeah, just this Xbox plugin, and then use your keyboard as an Xbox controller. So you can get to a certain amount, but it isn't like a real MIDI controller, and what you want
Well,
with a MIDI controller. And it's a
I
hassle
wonder
to
how-
set up, but
yeah, I wonder how far you can get with different plugins.
This is also something really interesting that I hope we can crack open sooner or later. How the Wooting 1 can be this inexpensive analog device which you can tailor towards your certain needs as a device. Yeah. And this all really weaves into this idea of open sourcing as much as we can. Like, if you would ask, like, why haven't you open sourced our firmware right now or utility yet? It's just because we're taking baby steps forward right now. Like, we're learning a lot of stuff and trying to find out what is the best way forward.
Yeah.
And utility is already one of the things that we're going to open source, so that's already a fact. And when it comes to the firmware, it's really finding out what is the smartest way forward. Like you see here, Custom Graphics already says open source SDK will go far.
Yeah.
And that's very true. It's just making it is also a big part and investment. And that's kind of like finding out how can we do this the best way. And right now we don't have all the answers for it, but that's where 2018 really needs to crack open.
but we'll get there, right?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's.
I really want to
Oh, okay. I just wanted to mention was that this whole topic came up also. The more people contacted with Jeroen about getting access to the keyboard and trying different projects, and we've already seen some results of people doing something with the keyboard.
Yeah. Yeah, but you also sort of need it, because otherwise you also need to know like what people actually use and how they use it before you can release something. It's not like otherwise you'll just sort of make something that nobody wants to use, and it's not only a wasted effort, but also like irritation on every side. So it needs to be this sort of collective effort too. That's why, like, now that the keyboards are out there, I think we can really start on something in the new year.
So that's if you want to help us in any way, or you want to join the conversation on this topic, you should definitely just contact us on social at wooting.nl. So you'll get in contact with Jeroen also. In general, what we already have running right now is if you have a Wooting 1 and you want to have more raw access to the keyboard, Jeroen can give it to you. And you can, the best is to just introduce your project or what you're planning to do. And you need to have Wooting 1, of course, to even get started, of course. But just introduce the project and send an email, and Jeroen can give you access. And if you have any questions or problems or want to know how some things work, then Jeroen is also there to help out.
Have you added on Twitter? I'll add you right now. I haven't been too active on Twitter lately, but
Follow for a follow. Fame for fame.
So yeah, it's really great, guys. If you want to join that would be really awesome.
I had a blast today. Great quiz.
great quiz, great
I'm
praises.
very disappointed. I thought at least one of you guys would have answered all 10 questions correctly. But maybe I made it too
Yeah,
difficult.
They were tough, but I think it was a good kind of tough this time.
It was tough questions. I mean, there were some random questions in there too, right? I mean, like, not random, but
The Jeroen is kind of, yeah.
really guessing type of questions. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't have to worry about missing the start, man. So, no problem for the Q&A.
Yeah.
You'll see every live stream. We're always open to questions, so we're always open for questions in general. You can always hit us up, and we're always here to answer questions. So,
But everyone, thanks
Okay.
for a crazy and amazing year, because it was a very good year for us, and
True.
I hope for you guys too. And I'm certain that 2018 will be even better than 2017. And
For
we
sure.
wish you all the best wishes for 2018.
Best wishes.
Yeah, okay. It's really time to end, right? Okay. So the whole live stream will also be on YouTube. There will be timestamps in the description that Timo will do. And we'll have another live stream again in 2 weeks on Sunday at the same time or an hour later. Just keep an eye on our socials. And what else, guys? That's it, I think.
That's it.
So then,
Just Happy New Year.
yeah, thanks a lot for joining. Yeah,
Be
Happy
careful with
New Year.
fireworks, and have a great evening, guys.
And bye-bye.
Shall I stop
it.
it? Or shall I make it like
Yeah.
very awkward in the end?
Now, so